Alright, welcome back, year 8, back to wonderful science. Food testing. Okay, food testing, last video I showed you, we identified the tests of how we identify these food chemicals. And today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be testing some different foods for these, testing to see whether these foods contain different chemicals. So remember last time we tested iodine, which sorry, not iodine, we tested starch with iodine and with that black colour. Then we tested for glucose using Benedict's with heat and it went orange. Then we tested for protein using biurettes, it went a purpley colour. And then we tested for salts using silver nitrate. Okay, so what I'm going to like here is I have some different common foods that you would have at home, that you would eat. We have an apple, we've got a potato, we've got some rice crackers. We've got in here, we have a Chubba Chup that Mr. Bragg kindly donated, and we have some sugar-free Coke. Sorry, not Coke, lemonade. All right, so what I'm going to do, you can see here I've got my test tubes laid out here, and what I've done is I've crushed them up, and you'll see I've crushed up the apple. You can see, have a close look in there, you can see that I've just mushed it up with water. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, what I'm going to do is we're going to test the apple first. So what I want you to do is pause this video and just predict for a moment what chemicals out of those four I mentioned before, glucose, starch, protein and salts, which of those four, or all those four, are any of them do you think would be present in this food? So just pause it for a moment and have a think about that and predict. Okay, welcome back. So let's now have a look at testing to see whether there is any starch in apple. All right, so here's my apple solution. So I'm going to use some iodine, a couple of squirts of iodine in there. Let's just see what we get. So it should go a dark colour if it's got starch. Well, I would say, yeah, it's quite dark. It's quite dark. Like it's gone dark. So yes, so absolutely, we've got some starch in there for the apple. What's the next test we're going to test for? Was the we're going to test the, I'll get it right, Benedict's solution. Okay, so Benedict's, remember, is a test for glucose. So I'm going to put 5 drops of Benedict's solution in my apple solution, and I'm going to give it a bit of heat. What do we think? All right, well, you've made that prediction. So now let's put it on the heat and let's go for our lives and let's just see whether we can get a reaction happening here. So remember, we're seeing whether glucose, simple sugar, is in here. So we'll give it a bit of heat and let's just see whether we can get a reaction happening. Oh, look at that, lovely. Okay, lovely. We've got a beautiful, lovely orange colour. So we've got plenty of glucose, all right, plenty of sugars. It's called, it's not glucose, but it's actually, well, there could be a bit of glucose in there, but there's also fructose. There's many simple sugars in there, but we tested for glucose, and absolutely glucose is in there. All right, so the next one we're going to do is protein. So protein, we do the biurettes test. So I get the biurettes test out, and I'm going to add a few drops of that. What colour should it go? It should go purple colour, shouldn't it? All right, so let's put it in. Let's go for it. Let's see what it does. Not much of a change there. What do you reckon, Mr. Bragg?
Yeah, not much change.
Not much change, so no protein today. What about salts? Well, silver nitrate's the go for salts. Let's try that. I don't know. Look, I don't know. If it is, it's only a very, very small amount. So, what can we say? Positive test, yes. We've got starch in apple. We've certainly got glucose in apple. So we give it a big tick in our table. Tick, starch, tick, glucose. No, we got no protein in that. And I don't think we've got many salts as well. Okay, so pause that video now and write down your results. Fill in your table, ticks and crosses for each of those chemicals that we find in apples. Okay, so welcome back. So now we're going to test for the good old potato, the good old spud. Okay, the spud, we know has been a staple in people's foods for hundreds of years. And back in the 1800s, there was a famine called the Irish potato famine. The Irish potato famine was a disease which knocked out majority of the potato crop, and that wasn't a good thing for the Irish. A lot of them starved because that's what they generally ate. But anyway, here today we're actually testing to see whether there's actually starch, glucose, protein, and sugar, salt. Sorry. Okay, so here we go. So I want you now to pause this video, and I want you to write down what you think, whether potato contains starch, glucose, protein, or and salts. Welcome back. So here we go again. What do we got? Well, let's try it. So first one, we're going to test for starch. I'm going to put my glucose, sorry, not my glucose, my iodine into my potato solution, and what would you say? You would think that absolutely it's gone, hasn't gone super black, but if I was to, you can see it's gone a little bit darker, but if I did this, let me just try this. Let me just try this, people, and I'll bring it up a bit closer to you and so you can see. Let that just soak in. You notice that? Right, you see how it's gone dark there? Okay, so that's the starch grains in the cells, all right, of the potato cells. So, to answer the question, does it contain starch? Absolutely it does, all right? So potato does contain starch. Okay, what about glucose? Let's try the glucose. Well, what do we need for glucose? Absolutely, we need this stuff, the blue stuff, the Benedicts. So I'm going to put some Benedict solution in there, and what am I going to do? I'm going to put the heat on. I'm going to put the heat on and I'm going to heat it up, and let's just see, what do we reckon? Are we going to get a test? Are we going to get a positive test? So we're seeing whether there's actually some sugars in here, some glucose. So, a little bit of heat, give it a sec. Bubbling away, not much is happening, is there? Nah, you can sort of see with the apple it changed straight away. With this it's not changing, is it? Alright, so good on there, yeah. So, would we say that it contains glucose? Nah, no way. No glucose. If there is, it's only a very, very small amount, okay? So our next test was the protein test. So, put a few drops in to, well, a few drops, probably like a bucket in, didn't I? Okay, so, much happening there. Ooh, can you see any, is it gone sort of purpley colour? No, not really. So, no, big cross against that. Salts, well, have we got some salts in potato? I don't know, what do you reckon? Let's try. Oh, look at that. Look at that, everyone. Look at that. Yeah? See how cloudy white that went? Okay, so absolutely. So salts in potato. Alright? So I'd like you now to pause this video, and I want you to, in your table, to write down the tick, cross for the results. So tick it off if it contained the chemical. So just going through again. Potato, yes, it does contain starch. Does it contain glucose? No. Does it contain protein? No, but it contains salts. Alright, moving on. Next one. I like these. These are rice crackers. Rice crackers I've made into a sloshy solution, and once again we're going to test to see whether they contain each of those chemicals that we've been doing so far. So first one, iodine. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Lovely colour. Lovely positive test. Okay, you can see there, nice and dark. Next one, what do we got? We've got, what's our next test? It's glucose, isn't it? So what do I need? I need the big B. I need the Benedicts. So I'm going to put some Benedicts in. I'm going to give it a bit of heat. And let's just see what we got. So we're testing to see whether there's glucose sugars in here. Okay, I'll put my glasses on. Alright, so I think, is there any sugars in here? What do you reckon? I wonder what you... Bubbling away. Not much is really happening, but is it? Oh, it's about to bubble over. So not much is happening there. So I would probably say no to that. Now protein, okay. I forgot to actually get you guys to do a check to see whether it actually can predict whether it actually did. But this is where it gets a little bit hard because you can see it's already a white colour, but you can see that there's a, no, you probably can't see, but it actually has gone a bit cloudy. Because it is already white, you think about these, sorry, I've actually got it wrong. It should actually go purple, shouldn't it? Right, it should go purple if it's got protein. Has it gone purplish? There's a little bit of a tinge there. I don't know whether it does, but this one's going to be a bit hard. This one's actually the silver nitrate. This is, well, it's not silver nitrate. The silver nitrate is the test for salts. So let's just do a, see my hand there. I'll put a little bit, oh, look at that. It went, oh, it's gone very dark now. It did change. It went a bit black. Well, we got to change, absolutely. And if you think about rice crackers, they got lots and lots of preservatives, and salt would be one of them. Okay, so there you go. So just recapping, rice crackers. We've got starch. Do we have glucose? Well, it looks like we do actually. Looks like we do. Yeah, we've got glucose. Absolutely, there's glucose and there's sugars. Look at that compared to what, oh, you probably can't see it, but yeah, it's actually, it's gone that sort of orangey colour. So yes, tick for glucose, tick for starch, protein. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's even got a little bit of protein. It's sort of got a little bit purple. And this here, we did get a colour change as well. So I reckon tick for all of them. Absolutely. All right, pause the video, write down your results. All right, folks, moving right along. So we've done our three. We've done those three. Move them to the side. Now we've got two more to do. The next one is Chubba Chups. Chubba Chups. Now, Chubba Chups are something that I don't eat a lot of, but you know, they're nice, but I'll give them. I reckon they're nice. Anyway, crushed up a bit of Chubba Chup, put it in, and let's test and find out, see whether it's actually got some of this these chemicals in. So the first thing, Chubba Chup, I want you to predict whether it's got starch, glucose, protein, and salts. Pause the video, have a think. Okay, welcome back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test for, the first test is going to be for starch. So I'm going to use what? I'm going to use some iodine. So I'm going to put some iodine in and let's just see how we go with this. Alright, so we've got to change. Well, it's gone a bit darker. It's gone a bit darker. What do you reckon? Bit, yeah. I think we could say that there is starch. It's a bit of a tricky one. It's gone darker, but it hasn't gone black like we sort of see. So the jury's out on that one. The jury's out. Anyway, what about Benedict's? What about glucose? Now we think that lollies would have sugars, and I would think my guess would be it would have glucose in it. But let's find out. All right. I'm hoping here. Let's just see whether we get that real. Give it a sec. Is it going to turn? Yeah, definitely. Oh, here we go. Look at this. How's that, everyone? Look at this. Makes sense, doesn't it? You would think it would have to have glucose in it. You would think so. All right, well, it absolutely does. Look at that. Colour doesn't lie, does it? Colour does not lie. All right, next one. What are we going to do now? We're going to do proteins. So the proteins, what am I using for the proteins? I'm using biuretes. Okay, so I'm going to use some biuretes. So this time I'll put some biuretes in and give it a swirl. And what am I seeing there? Not a lot of action. So you're not going to grow healthy bones and grow up really well just eating on them, aren't you? Because you know, proteins are the building blocks
for our bodies, you know. Grow our muscles, grow our cells, tissues, bones, you name it. We aren't going to be, if we have a diet of that, we're not going to be growing, are we? And we're not going to be repairing ourselves either, because that's what proteins is all about. All right, so what about some silver nitrate? What about testing for salts? All right, so let's put it in and let's see what we've got. What do we got here? Whoops. Oh, what do you reckon? I reckon there's salts in there, absolutely. I'm going to say there is. You bet there is. Has it changed? I think it's gone whiter. So that's the one that, so remember it's white colour, right, for white, in cloudy white for salts. Whereas that sort of, there's been nothing happening there. So I reckon yes, the salts. Alright, so I'm going to get you to pause the video now and to write down your results. So just remember, recapping, starch, no. Glucose, absolutely, in the chubba chop. Protein, absolutely not. Nothing happening there, but certainly we've got some salts. You can see how it's gone that real cloudy white. Okay, pause it now and fill in your table. Okay, last test for everyone. Thanks for getting back to us. Last test we've got today is we're going to test the claim of no sugar. So we've got some sugar-free lemonade here, and you can see, right, sugar-free. What we're going to do this time is we're going to do our test like we've done before. It's our last test. So iodine, would we expect it? So I want you to predict, do the prediction, see what you think. Is it going to have starch? Is it going to have glucose? Is it going to have protein? Is it going to have salts? Pause and make a prediction. All right, welcome back. So I put some iodine in there. Is there any change? Has it gone black? No, it hasn't. It's still the same colour as iodine, so there's no starch. What about glucose? Now this is the big test. It says that there's no sugar in it. So if there's no sugar, then what should happen? All right, well let's put this in and let's find out. So here we go. Here we go. So let's heat it up. This is the big test. Are they lying? Well, we're going to find out. I should put these on. No sugar. Better not be lying to us. The claim, whoa! Okay, the claim, well, I think we can verify. I think we can verify that, yeah, there's no sugar in it. It's sugar-free, well anyway, it's free of glucose anyway. It might have sucrose. Let's have a look at this. No, it says no sugars. 0, 0, 0. So they're not lying. There you go. So sugar-free, it's sugar-free. All right, last one, second last one. It's a protein. Now, what's the label say? The label says protein 0.3 of a gram, no, 0.1 of a gram. So it's a very, very small amount. Will it show up? I tell you what. No, it hasn't gone that purpley colour, but has it? Oh, it's a tricky one. There might, yeah, yeah, I don't know. Very, very hard to say. And then the last one we've got is our salts. Last one. Let's try. Oops, I put the wrong thing in. Silver nitrate. Let's try it. One. Aha. What do we got here? Has it got salts? Well, I'd say that it's. Now, here is it similar to the colour of the silver nitrate? It hasn't gone really cloudy white, has it? It's gone. Oh, there might be a little bit in there. What does it say? Has it got sodium? It does have sodium in it, so I would say, yeah, absolutely. There is a little bit of salt in there. You can see it's gone a little bit cloudy. So, yes, I would think so. So, just start wrapping up. So, no starch. Glucose, no glucose, so we verify that it doesn't have glucose. Does it have protein? Jury's still out on that, but absolutely, I think it's got salts. So that wraps us up for today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and yeah, you just keep learning your science and keep loving science, because science has the answers. Goodbye.